All right, today we are in San Diego with AJ Wilcox. He is the founder of B2 Linked. He specializes in LinkedIn ads, specifically for corporations like enterprise businesses that want to get large clients and also for recruiting. And so today we're going to focus on a quick 5 to 7 minute overview of why you would want to use LinkedIn ads and why you wouldn't. So that's my first question for you, AJ. What types of businesses should steer towards LinkedIn and which ones should stay away from it?
For sure. So I've done a lot of studying on this topic, worked with a lot of different clients, trying to find who is the ideal advertiser on LinkedIn, because that obviously helps if I can go and hunt those kinds of clients down. What I have found is that in general, a business-to-business customer that's trying to generate leads from a certain type of professional user, as long as they have a lifetime value or let's say an average closed deal size of over about 15K, they're probably going to be successful. So that's in general. I do have clients who are more like on the $10,000 deal size who can still be successful on LinkedIn, but it's more of a rarity.
So lifetime value, but is there a specific time frame you're also looking at too to get your ROI?
No, your time frame is going to totally depend on your business because if you know that you'll have the return, but it's 5 years from now, are you ready to accept that risk or aren't you? And
so if I'm a dentist, I probably shouldn't be doing LinkedIn ads.
Yeah, dentist probably not. Anything really business to consumer is not great because LinkedIn has amazing targeting for B2B, but not for targeting consumers.
Okay, so what would be a good example of a B2B business that should be targeting or using LinkedIn ads?
Yeah, so SaaS software businesses do quite well on LinkedIn advertising, usually because SaaS software has like a per seat license. So you generally have like it's a larger purchase, and then you have that subscription angle to it. So you end up doing a lot of being able to forecast 2.5 years from now is how long they're going to stick on, and so you'll see a return.
Okay, so SaaS companies that are in the B2B space with a lifetime value of 15,000 or more as a general rule.
Yep, I think that's perfect. And then the other side of that, because you mentioned recruiting is just magical on LinkedIn for anyone who's looking for white collar recruits, pretty much. Most of the people who are having a lot of success with this are larger tech companies who need to recruit talent in mass, because you'll create these ads and you'll run them and you'll find the way to optimize it. But I have worked with quite a few companies who just have a need for, let's say, 2 or 3 salespeople every month, and so we just keep ads running for them.
AJ, what kind of targeting does LinkedIn provide a business with?
So LinkedIn gives you the ability to target by almost anything that's in someone's LinkedIn profile.
So that would give you like their university, geographic area, their position.
Yep, all of the above. Their level of seniority in the organization, what department they work in, skills that they have listed on their profile, individual LinkedIn groups that they're members of, the school they went to, what degree they got, what they studied there. I mean, it goes on and on. Any information that you've given them, advertisers are then able to target by, which is just amazing for B2B.
If I'm a B2B company trying to generate a lead, what are the main demographic information I should be focusing on? Like what's relevant versus not relevant from your experience?
Yeah, so there are 4 different types of targeting that I use generally. The first is going to be job title. Job title is where most people will tend to gravitate towards on first glance. So because of that, it drives competition up. So if you're targeting by job title, it's going to be a very exact type of audience, but it's also going to be smaller because LinkedIn can't figure out everyone's job title specifically, and it's going to cost more per click. So that's job title. You also have one called job function, which is almost exactly the opposite. You can do job function is essentially what department someone works in at the company. And so if you're looking to target CMOs, you might say a job function of marketing with a seniority of CXO or C-level seniority on top. When you layer those things together, you get a CMO. So that's the second. Third is targeting skills. So for that same CMO example, we might target any type of marketing skill and overlay a seniority of CXO on top of that. And then finally, groups. In the same CMO example, you can target marketing groups and layer CXO on top, or you might just target groups that are groups only for CMOs. And then that way the group membership has done its own filtering for you. And all 4 of those targeting personalities, they have a different flavor to them. Some are going to be more broad, some more specific, some cheaper, some more expensive. And so you kind of have to test between them or make an educated guess as to which one's going to be best. Or if you have a large budget, go ahead and launch all 4 of them side by side, and then optimize as you go. Find out which ones you can.
And what type of a budget should I have, whether I'm doing LinkedIn ads for myself or if I were to hire you to run my LinkedIn ads? What should be my first test, my test budget to know how much I should spend to actually see if I'm getting results or not?
I like to recommend somewhere between about $3,000 and $5,000 spent on any given audience, just so you can test it to statistical significance. That doesn't mean that you have to spend that tomorrow. It doesn't mean you have to spend it this month, or it doesn't mean that you have to spend that over the course of 6 months. You just need that much data before you can really make the call. So I would say if you're doing it yourself, sure, plan on spending that much. But of course, if you get down the road and you realize that you've spent $1,000 and you've only generated 4 leads, maybe $250 a lead is too expensive for what you're doing. And maybe that wouldn't work and you can make the call to shut that down now. But if it's generating leads at a great cost, then you don't know how those leads are going to turn into sales yet, essentially because B2B business cycles are much longer.
Okay.
So just let it keep going. But I say 3,000 to 5,000 is my sweet spot, whether you're working with me or whether you're doing it yourself.
Got it. Now with Facebook has a lot of the functionality that used to make LinkedIn exclusive, like job title and things like that. Why would someone choose, LinkedIn over Facebook? Are they complementary? What should my focus be?
Yeah, so I'm obviously a big fan of LinkedIn because I've built my whole business around it, but I'm not really a fanboy. I believe that companies should go after any type of targeting that they can get in front of their exact audience. And so if you can get in front of that same audience on LinkedIn and Facebook ads and Twitter and AdWords, then great. I think everyone should do it. When you run all of those platforms, of course, it's a lot of management, but you'll also find that at some point you'll find a similarity where, you'll just find a comfortable place with budget where maybe Facebook doesn't comfortably spend more than $2,000 a month, and LinkedIn doesn't comfortably spend more than $4,000. But you'll find that, I don't know what I'm trying to look for, but an area where budgeting is just happy among the different platforms.
Okay, perfect. Last question. So you're the founder of B2 Linked. Tell us a little bit about your firm, what someone should know, why someone should work with you or not, or if they're getting into LinkedIn ads for the first time.
Sure. So I originally started because when I was running LinkedIn advertising inside of a tech company, I would have questions about LinkedIn ads and I'd go and Google them and then realize that no one was typing, no one was writing up anything, no one was answering questions or exhibiting thought leadership. And so I thought over time, hey, I'm figuring this stuff out. Maybe that should be me. And so if you're like me where you're a self-starter, you want to figure it out, you can definitely do it. But I've already spent millions of dollars making mistakes. So if that's at all important to you of going forward without making costly mistakes, then working with us is great. We are also the first and only official accredited LinkedIn partner for service.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's just recent.
That's one of the reasons why I like AJ. He's LinkedIn approved.
That's right, and no one else is. And I don't anticipate having competition there for a while. So those are great reasons to work with us. But of course, I would not blame you for wanting to do it yourself because that's the kind of person I am.
Okay, well, thank you so much, AJ, for coming on our show and meeting up with us in San Diego.
Hey, thanks so much for the invite. It's been awesome.
All right, thanks. See you guys next week.